Have you ever heard of a princess made of starlight? Well, that was Ilara. She wasn't just any princess. She was a beacon of hope, a radiant figure whose very essence was woven from the fabric of the cosmos. Her skin glowed with the light of 1,000 stars, and her presence was like a soothing balm to the weary souls of the galaxy. The first time I saw her, she shimmered like a mirage in the desert, an ethereal vision that seemed almost too beautiful to be real. Her light was not just a physical glow, but an aura of warmth and kindness that enveloped everyone around her. Imagine being bathed in the soft glow of her home star, Lyra. Princess Ilara was like a living embodiment of the star's gentle light, her every movement a dance of luminescence. Her presence was a constant reminder of the beauty and mystery of the universe. Her name sounded like beautiful wind chimes in space, a melody that resonated with the very fabric of the cosmos. It was a name that carried with it a sense of peace and tranquility, a promise of hope in the darkest of times. She had a special gift, passed down through her royal family. This gift was not just a symbol of her lineage, but a testament to the power and responsibility that came with her title. It was a gift that allowed her to touch the hearts and minds of those around her, to bring light to the darkest corners of the galaxy. A touch, a kiss. These simple gestures held immense power in Ilara's hands. Her touch could heal wounds, mend broken hearts, and bring life to barren lands. Her kiss was a promise of love and hope, a beacon of light in a galaxy often shrouded in darkness. And life bloomed wherever she went, chasing away darkness and fixing anything broken. Her presence was like a breath of fresh air, a burst of life that revitalized everything it touched. Flowers would bloom in her wake, and the air would be filled with the sweet scent of renewal. Ilara wasn't just a princess, she was like a lighthouse in a storm, a guiding light for those lost in the darkness. Her light cut through the chaos, providing a sense of direction and purpose to those who had lost their way, a symbol of hope in a galaxy that was feeling a bit sad. Her presence was a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there was always a glimmer of light, a reason to keep going. She was a beacon of hope, a symbol of resilience and strength. Planets hurt by war, burned by dying suns, felt better with her touch. Her light brought healing and renewal to places that had been ravaged by conflict and despair. She was a force of nature, a living embodiment of the power of hope and love. Every life she saved showed how kind she was. Her actions spoke louder than words, and her kindness was a beacon of hope for those who had lost everything. She was a living testament to the power of compassion and love, but her eyes, sparkly like stardust, held a secret sadness. Despite all the good she did, there was a part of her that longed for something more, something deeper. Her eyes were windows to her soul, revealing a longing for connection and understanding. She wanted a real connection, something more than just being a princess. She longed for a sense of belonging, a connection that went beyond her royal duties. She wanted to be seen and understood for who she truly was, not just as a symbol of hope. So she looked at the stars and saw a small blue planet near a yellow sun, Earth. It was a place that seemed so different from her own, yet it called to her in a way she couldn't ignore. It was a place that promised a different kind of healing, a healing that started in the heart. It whispered to her, promising a different kind of healing. The stars seemed to sing to her, their whispers filling her heart with a sense of hope and possibility. It was a call she couldn't ignore, a promise of something more, a healing that started in the heart. It was a promise of love and connection, a chance to find the sense of belonging she had always longed for. It was a chance to heal not just the galaxy, but herself as well. With a sprinkle of stardust and a gentle push from space, Ilara went to Earth, feeling both nervous and excited. It was a journey into the unknown, a leap of faith that promised a new beginning. She was ready to embrace whatever lay ahead, to find the connection she had always longed for. This time she wasn't just helping people, she was looking for something more. She was looking for a sense of belonging, a connection that went beyond her royal duties. She was looking for a place to call home, something her special gift couldn't give her. She was looking for love, for a connection that went beyond the physical. She was looking for a sense of belonging, a place where she could be herself. And in the end, she found it, not just in the people she helped, but in the connections she made along the way. Earth was loud. The cacophony of sounds was unlike anything Ilara had ever experienced. The hum of engines, the chatter of people, the distant wail of sirens. It was a symphony of chaos that filled every corner of the city. The noise was relentless, a constant reminder of the life teeming all around her. Cities full of people were everywhere. Skyscrapers reached for the heavens, their glass facades reflecting the hustle and bustle below. Streets were rivers of humanity, flowing with an unending stream of faces, each one a story waiting to be told. The sheer density of life was overwhelming, a stark contrast to the quiet solitude of her home planet. The air smelled like cars and factories. It was thick with the scent of progress and pollution, a mix of metallic tang and burnt fuel. Factories belched smoke into the sky, their chimneys standing like grim sentinels over the urban sprawl. Traffic clogged the streets, each vehicle adding to the miasma that hung heavy in the air. It was a lot for Ilara. The sensory overload was almost too much to bear. Her senses, honed to detect the subtlest of changes, were bombarded by the sheer volume of stimuli. She felt like a small boat adrift in a stormy sea, tossed and turned by the waves of sound, sight, and smell. But even with all the noise, she felt like she belonged. There was a strange comfort in the chaos, a sense of connection to the thrumming pulse of life around her. She found herself smiling at the little moments of joy she witnessed, a child laughing, a couple holding hands, friends sharing a joke. These glimpses of happiness were like beacons of light in the urban jungle. Like this busy little planet held a part of her she didn't know was missing. It was as if Earth had awakened something deep within her, a dormant part of her soul that resonated with the vibrancy of human life. She felt a kinship with the people, a shared sense of purpose and destiny. Her spaceship, all shiny and bright, disguised itself in the night sky. It was a marvel of technology, its sleek design allowing it to blend seamlessly with the stars. From a distance it looked like just another celestial body, a twinkling light in the vast expanse of space. She landed far away from people, in a quiet field lit by the moon. The field was a sanctuary of peace, a stark contrast to the bustling city she had left behind. The moon cast a gentle glow over the landscape, bathing it in a soft ethereal light. It was a place where she could gather her thoughts and prepare for the journey ahead. Stepping onto the soft, wet grass, Ilara felt a rush of energy. The earth beneath her feet seemed to hum with life, a vibrant energy that flowed into her being. It was a sensation unlike any she had ever felt, a connection to the very essence of the planet. Earth was buzzing with life, stronger than anything she'd ever felt. The air was alive with the sounds of nature, the chirping of insects, the rustle of leaves, the distant call of a bird. Every blade of grass, every flower, every tree seemed to pulse with vitality. It was a symphony of life, a testament to the planet's resilience and beauty. It felt old, powerful, and welcoming. The ancient trees stood like guardians of the land, their gnarled branches reaching out as if to embrace her. There was a wisdom in the forest, a sense of timelessness that spoke to her soul. It was a place of magic and mystery, a sanctuary where she felt truly at home. She spent her first days watching and learning. She observed the humans from a distance, studying their behaviors, their interactions, their way of life. She was a silent observer, blending into the background as she gathered information. Every gesture, every word, every expression was a piece of the puzzle she was trying to solve. She learned the languages, the ways people lived, their dreams and their sadnesses. She immersed herself in their culture, absorbing their stories, their hopes, their fears. She listened to their conversations, deciphering the nuances of their speech. She learned about their dreams, their aspirations, their struggles. She felt their sadness, their pain, their longing for something more. Humans, so delicate, yet so tough. They were a paradox, fragile in their mortality, yet resilient in their spirit. They faced adversity with courage, their hearts full of hope even in the darkest of times. They were capable of great kindness and great cruelty, their emotions a complex tapestry of light and shadow. They could love, hate, build and destroy. Their capacity for creation was matched only by their capacity for destruction. They built towering cities, monuments to their ingenuity and ambition. Yet they also waged wars, tearing down what they had built in fits of rage and despair. Their love was fierce and passionate, their hate equally intense. Ilara was both amazed and scared. The depth of human emotion was staggering, a whirlwind of feelings that left her breathless. She was in awe of their strength, their resilience, their capacity for love. But she was also frightened by their capacity for hate, their ability to inflict pain and suffering on one another. She knew she was here to heal the world's hurts. Her mission was clear. To bring healing and hope to a world in need. She had the power to mend broken bodies, to soothe troubled minds, to bring peace to restless souls. She was determined to use her gifts to make a difference, to be a beacon of light in the darkness. But as she learned more about humans, she realized some hurts were very, very deep. The pain she encountered was profound, rooted in centuries of conflict and suffering. It was a pain that went beyond physical wounds, a deep-seated anguish that permeated the very fabric of human existence. She saw the scars left by war, the wounds inflicted by hatred, the sorrow of loss and betrayal, too deep for even her magic touch. She came to understand that some wounds could not be healed by her powers alone. The depth of human suffering was a stark reminder of the limitations of her abilities. She felt a sense of helplessness, a realization that her mission was far more complex than she had anticipated. But even in the face of this daunting challenge, she remained resolute, determined to do whatever she could to bring healing and hope to this troubled world. There was a doctor, a man who dedicated his life to mending broken bodies, just like Ilara devoted herself to healing broken souls. His name was Daniel, and he was known for his exceptional skills and compassionate heart. In a world where technology had advanced beyond imagination, Daniel remained a beacon of hope, a symbol of the enduring human spirit. Ilara first encountered Daniel in a bustling hospital, a place teeming with the sick and the weary. The hospital was a marvel of modern science, with machines that could diagnose ailments in seconds and treatments that seemed almost magical. Yet amidst all this technological wonder, it was Daniel's touch, his gentle demeanor, that truly made a difference. She observed him as he moved through the crowded hallways, his presence a calming force in the chaotic environment. Patients and staff alike seemed to draw strength from his quiet confidence, his unwavering dedication. It was clear that Daniel was more than just a doctor. He was a healer in the truest sense of the word. His voice, soft and reassuring, cut through the noise of the hospital, bringing comfort to those in pain. He spoke to each patient with genuine concern, his words a balm to their suffering. But it was his eyes that truly captivated Ilara. They were windows to a soul that had seen much, endured much, and yet remained kind and compassionate. Daniel's eyes were a reflection of his inner strength and his deep empathy. They held a kindness that was rare, a gentleness that spoke of a heart that had not hardened despite the many challenges he faced. But they also held a weariness, a tiredness that mirrored Ilara's own. It was a look that spoke of long hours, of battles fought and sometimes lost. Ilara watched him for days, drawn to his quiet strength and unwavering dedication. She saw how he cared for his patients, how he gave of himself without hesitation. He was a man who carried the weight of the world on his shoulders, yet he did so with grace and humility. It was a quality that resonated deeply with Ilara, who understood all too well the burden of responsibility. She observed him from a distance, her heart aching with a mixture of admiration and sorrow. She saw the toll his work took on him, the way his shoulders sagged at the end of a long day, the way his eyes grew dimmer with each passing hour. Yet he never wavered, never faltered in his commitment to his patients. It was a testament to his strength, his resilience. Daniel moved through the hospital like a beacon of hope, his presence a source of comfort and reassurance. He had a way of making people feel safe, of instilling a sense of calm, even in the most dire of circumstances. It was a gift, one that Ilara recognized and respected. She knew that true healing required more than just physical treatment. It required a connection, a bond that went beyond the surface. Ilara knew she had the power to heal with just a touch, to mend broken bodies with a mere thought. But she also understood that real healing took time, patience, and a deep connection. It was a lesson she had learned over many years, one that had shaped her into the healer she was today. She saw the same understanding in Daniel, the same recognition of the importance of empathy and compassion. One evening, as the hospital quieted down, Ilara found Daniel alone in his office. He was sitting at his desk, a look of deep contemplation on his face. In his hand he held a photograph, a picture of a woman with a kind smile. Ilara could see the pain in his eyes, the sorrow that he carried with him. It was a moment of vulnerability, one that revealed the depth of his suffering. The woman in the photograph was his wife, a woman who had died from an illness even Daniel couldn't cure. It was a loss that had left a deep scar on his heart, a wound that had never fully healed. Ilara felt a pang of empathy, a connection to his pain. She understood the weight of loss, the way it could shape a person, change them in ways they never expected. At that moment, Ilara realized just how much Daniel was carrying. He wasn't just fighting for his patients. He was fighting against the fragility of life itself. It was a battle that required immense strength, both physical and emotional, and for the first time Ilara questioned her own understanding of what it meant to be human. Could she, a being of light and healing, truly grasp the depth of human suffering and resilience? She watched him, her heart heavy with a newfound respect and admiration. Daniel was a man who embodied the best of humanity, a man who faced the darkness with unwavering courage. He was a reminder of the strength that lay within each person, the ability to endure and overcome even the greatest of challenges. It was a lesson that Ilara would carry with her, a reminder of the power of compassion and empathy. As she left the hospital that night, Ilara felt a sense of clarity. She understood that true healing was not just about mending bodies, but about touching hearts and souls. It was about creating connections, building bonds that could withstand the test of time. And in Daniel she saw a kindred spirit, a fellow healer who understood the true weight of the world. She knew that their paths had crossed for a reason, that they were meant to learn from each other. In Daniel, Ilara found a source of inspiration, a reminder of the power of human resilience. And in Ilara, Daniel found a kindred spirit, someone who understood the true meaning of healing. Together they would face the challenges ahead, united in their commitment to making the world a better place. Ilara's journey on Earth had taken an unexpected turn, but it was one that she welcomed with open arms. She knew that there was much to learn, much to experience. And with Daniel by her side, she felt ready to face whatever came their way. Together they would carry the weight of the world, and in doing so, they would find the strength to heal and to hope. The weight of the world was heavy, but it was a burden they were willing to bear, for in their hands lay the power to heal, to bring light to the darkest corners of the human experience. And in their hearts they carried the hope that one day the world would be a place where no one had to suffer alone. Ilara and Daniel, two healers from different worlds, united by a common purpose. Together they would face the challenges ahead, their hearts and minds intertwined in a shared mission. And in their journey they would discover the true meaning of healing, the power of compassion, and the strength of the human spirit. Could she, a being of light and healing, really understand what it meant to be human and feel such deep sadness? Perhaps not entirely, but with Daniel by her side she was willing to try, and in that effort she would find a new kind of strength, a new kind of hope. The weight of the world was heavy, but together they would carry it with grace and determination.